Hello, everyone, and welcome to Old World Tech Fridays.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. How is everyone doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. So it appears it's just the two of us this evening.
It does look that way.
It seems as though Eric has unfortunately found himself to be under the weather. And Ron had a prior engagement, although I know he is attempting to get back in time for the stream. So potentially he will join us later. So yeah, how are things? What's on the go? How was your week? Apparently Frank can't hear me anymore.
Not too bad, you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. You seem to be you need a cup of internet? Can I get you a cup of bandwidth?
I'm lagging.
You're very much lagging, yes.
Yeah, I'm lagging. There we go.
All right, we seem to be back.
Yeah, for some reason I started lagging. Not sure why.
I'm guessing your ping went up and maybe you've been kicked from the multiplayer server that is life?
Must be.
Possible.
It's really weird.
Anyway, how are things, Frank? How was your week?
Not too bad. Yourself?
It was a short week.
It's been busy, as usual. Last week of the month, so it's usually the busiest, but
you are lagging something bad.
It was fine beforehand. I'm not sure what the lag is.
Do you still have Discord open?
Is
something eating your bandwidth? Well, I guess seeing Frank has decided to lock up, I'll continue on. Let's see who do we have in the chat, Ryan? Well, actually, we have several people in the chat. Francois is joining us. Hello, Francois. Dave's Vintage Apple Tech is here, so hello, Dave. Thank you for joining us. CDI is here. Thank you, CDI, for joining us. I80386SX is here as well. And I think that's everybody we have so far. So we'll just kind of hang out here a little bit. As you may or may not be aware, this is the last day of February. So after today, it'll be officially March. And when it's March, of course, our minds move to things like spring and the birds and, foliage coming back if you live in a place that has, snow or things that die during the winter season. But, of course, what I'm going to be talking about is, of course, Marcintosh. Marcintosh is upon us. Excuse me. So I've been getting ready. Hey, Joe. I've been getting ready my own device, which is sitting just right here next to me. I have a plethora of Macintoshes to choose from for Marcintosh. Yes, as Joe points out, use the hashtag Marcintosh if you decide to do some Marcintosh things over the next month. Make sure to post them on your favorite social media platform, whether it's Blue Sky or the Dumpster Fire or Facebook or Instagram or any of the Mastodon, any of those. Feel free to make sure you put the hashtag Marcintosh so that other like-minded individuals can see what you're doing. But yeah, so I picked up this Power Macintosh 7100 about, I want to say five months ago, maybe 6 months ago, sometime the late summer, early fall. It served its entire life in a local, what would you call it? I guess a publishing house. They used it, and it spent the rest of its time in storage since it was retired from active use. Unfortunately, for anybody who knows this particular line, the 7100. Hey, it looks like Ron has joined us. Hey, Ron.
Hey, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I knew you had other things to do, and
afterward.
Yeah. How was it?
But I'm here. It was really good. It was my boss retired today, so we it was really good. It was very nice. Saw him off. He's going to live the dream as a retired person.
Excellent. Well, that's great to hear. We're just discussing everything Marcintosh, so just getting into. Hey, Frank.
Oh, that's great news.
How about now?
That's a topic. Yes.
You sound fine. Yes.
That's a topic I would like to learn more about.
About Marcintosh? Well, I was just talking about how I picked up this Power Macintosh 7100 about 4 or 5 months ago, and it had a terrible battery bomb. but thankfully it had been put in storage on its side. So the battery exploded off the board. It just kissed a little bit of the edge of one of the RAM sticks and landed a little bit on the CPU cooler and then fell onto the case where it proceeded to eat a hole in the steel of the case. But thankfully, I'm happy to
I saw that you painted and stuff. Did some rust abatement. Yeah.
yeah. So I just we scraped it, we cleaned it, and then we did a little bit of a little to kind of hide and preserve some of that rust.
You
rust
called a cat?
Yes, I would. No, spray paint.
Okay. Got it.
The rust never stops. So unless you cut it completely out, anybody who's in the automotive industry knows that once rust starts, it's there forever. Yes. So this will merely slow it down and prevent it from, exponentially getting worse.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm proud. I'm happy to say that the Power Macintosh boots. It's a lovely little machine. Even though it is only 66 megahertz, it's pretty zippy, and it has its full complement of RAM. All the RAM slots are populated, and it's reporting 106 megabytes of RAM now. So
neat.
So yeah,
that's a lot of RAM.
It's a lot of RAM. It's running 7.5.6, I think. It's your image, Ron.
Yeah.
761.
So it's 761. Yeah, I was gonna say because 761 is nice, especially on early Power Macs and stuff. It's got a lot more PowerPC native code than System 7.1. System 7.1 has like a thimble's worth of PowerPC native code, so you're running everything in emulation. So it's
gets pretty slow.
Pretty nice. Yeah, it's those machines aren't speed demons when they were new. So
for sure. Actually, the image I have it came up with your router name in the global talk.
Oh, I told Steve to fix that, but maybe he put that out there and didn't fix it.
Yeah, now he sent me this particular image this afternoon himself. So because it's a PowerPC image, it's got some extra PowerPC stuff in it. Yeah, it's possible that he didn't strip it, but
that's okay. Yeah, or he sent you the wrong revision or something. That's okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right. Just as long as you changed it and you went into the sharing control panel or sharing setup and put your name in there and all that.
Right.
And, yeah.
Unfortunately, I have to get on the internet first because my Blue SCSI, the Wi-Fi, I don't think is powerful enough. It's not connected to the internet. So
okay, got it.
Tomorrow's bridged across.
Yes, that is tomorrow Ryan's problem.
Exactly. Although I probably will end up using an AAU. Is it an AUX, AIX?
It's AUI is just like the industry standard for that. So it's Apple AUI. So AAUI.
AA, of course, and it's slightly smaller, right? They went their own form factor.
Yeah, it's a micro connection.
Yeah, so I have a couple of those in the box behind me. I'm going to probably put this on Ethernet.
Yeah, mostly because the AUI can like that DIN or that DB
looks
connection.
Like SATA.
Well,
or let's say this SCSI or something else.
Yeah, it's a weird little Centronics. Well, no, that's different.
Oh, you mean the one that Apple actually uses?
Yeah, because the one that you just held up, that's the same. That's the same plug as the monitor.
Right.
So they didn't want to have two of those ports on the back.
Fair enough. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So, what are you guys doing for Marcintosh? I'm going to hopefully get this up on Global Talk, and I hope to play some games on it.
Nice.
It also has a graphics card that's not populated with any memory. So I was thinking maybe I'll put some memory on the graphics card and see if that makes any difference. It looks really nice. I just realized I just found on my keyboard the I and the 9 key don't work for some reason.
What type of keyboard is it?
It is a.
Oh yeah, those are real Alps salmon sometimes switches. So you can take it apart and clean the switch.
Cool.
Contact cleaner.
It sounds really nice. I'll put the microphone right next to it. It sounds.
Oh yeah, they're nice keyboards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I found this actually. I'll tell you a little story about this keyboard. This keyboard, a 12-inch color display, and a mouse were just randomly dropped off at our local Value Village, which is like our what is it? Savers, I think is down your way.
Yeah.
Same company. Anyway, a friend of mine took a picture of it and sent it to me and said, "Hey, is this something you're interested in?" It was like $20 for all three of them. I was like,
"Nice." Yeah, pick them up.
Yep.
You know what I wish? I wish Frank would just keep the volume down.
I don't like to shout.
Whoa, Frank! My goodness, the attitude.
Oh, golly.
Jeez.
Well, so the latency was something to do with this PC because when I did a speed test, it was like 30 meg download. I go to the Mac sitting next to me, 384.25. So yeah, there's definitely some discrepancy with this computer.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very weird.
You have probably get another T1 line put in, maybe.
Well, I have the Spectrum internet, the cable internet here.
Yeah.
But we also have 2 of the Starlinks.
Right.
I just don't have the one for the shed over here. They're both at the house when I hooked them up to test them.
Right.
I haven't moved it out here yet.
Gotcha.
So I got one for the house and one for out here.
Right. The and your Ubiquity stuff should mesh nicely with that.
That's what I set it up for the house. So if the power goes out, our house is on generator.
Right.
And then the Starlink kicks on to where we still have internet. So we can still function.
That's cool.
Without
we have
the
some
grid.
We have some early breaking news from now. You have to understand, Francois is actually in the future, and he's telling me he's already in March. He's telling me that it's possible Marchintosh is going to be quite lit. I'm not sure how much lighting we have for Marchintosh. I don't know what the budget was for the stagecraft lighting setup. That's all wrong.
They're arc lamps, so we got a really good deal on them.
Oh, perfect. But how much whale oil is that going to cost us?
I don't know. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
No, but it is actually stream. It looks like it's going to be a pretty involved Marchintosh. It seems like there's a lot more people on Global Talk this year and already on Global Talk.
Oh yeah, there are 50, or right now, this very second, there's 47 zones active. So
wow,
there are a number of people that are hopping on, doing stuff, copying things.
Have we seen any viruses this year like we saw last year?
No,
nothing propagating yet across
haven't seen it yet. If that's the case,
yeah.
Even RetroTech Chris is on Global Talk, he says.
I know. Wow. That's awesome.
Hey, Chris.
Heck, even I'm on Global Talk.
The question is, how does one get a compact laptop from 1993 on Global Talk?
Very carefully.
That's right. I have, I think I shared Sunday on Dave's stream, I think it was. I got some Apple engineering discs that I picked up that I'm going to be archiving and uploading as part of my Marchintosh thing. But I'm going to do a video on them.
Yeah, there's some really interesting, just a
Ryan had a preview.
Yeah, there's some pretty interesting software on those discs that I couldn't find any when I looked them up on the internet to see if they were around. So it's pretty neat. I'm excited to see your video.
I too am excited to see Frank's video.
And what about you, Ron? What are you doing for Marchintosh this year? Any big plans?
I've got a couple of things. I've got I'm actually doing a live stream tomorrow around 2 o'clock. I think it is 2 o'clock Central. That is all about. Everybody's seen that scene in Star Trek 4 where Scotty he's like going to show him how to make transparent aluminum. He goes up to the computer and just starts talking to it. And then they're like, oh, no. And, McCoy picks up and hands him the mouse. And then he just starts talking into the mouse. So I actually have a thing that I've made that is a microphone mouse. So I'm going to just do a very quick live stream on how to make your own and where to find all the parts. It'll be fun. Or not. Or it'll be a horrible waste of everyone's time. You'll have to tune in to find out.
Now, are there any special edition ones coming out made of transparent aluminum? Because we have that technology now.
I think it's still kind of pricey.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking even if you went with like a faux transparent aluminum, like maybe an acrylic.
Maybe. We'll see.
Sounds great. I'm excited to see it. Yeah. We got a little preview of it a couple of nights ago. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah. And other than that, you're on Global Talk. What's your handle or your server name?
It's tough to remember. It's Ron's Comp Vids.
Yeah, that is hard to remember.
That's a lot.
You should have chose something shorter.
I know. I should have picked something that was more on brand for my channel.
Yeah. Just like the server name Nice. N-I-C-E, just nice.
NYCE. Nice.
Nice. Well, that's great. I'm excited for Macintosh. I participated last year. I'm excited again for this year. This is, I think, this is my first Power PC entry into Macintosh.
Awesome.
Last year, I used every one of my old Macs as their power supplies failed. I just moved on to the next one. I think I went through about 5 machines last year.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah. So now I tell you, those 5 machines are exactly in the same state they were last year. I haven't updated or fixed any of them. But
I have a Macintosh project for Ron. I've got to get it in the mail so that he can maybe he can do a video on it. I've got the 117 megahertz CPU upgrade for the PowerBook.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's cool.
So I got to get those in the mail.
That's exciting. And Ron, how is your new SE working out?
It is already in the mail to Gut Bomb to go to Frank. So
he already opened it today. I watched him open the box today.
I was gonna say. So yeah,
got it today.
It's already where it needs to be.
Excellent.
And I appreciate it greatly.
Yep.
But yeah, I saw Gut Bomb unbox the box while I was on video with him earlier this afternoon.
And Ron, did you follow your shipping tutorial? Did you utilize the pool noodle?
No, because didn't have to. Because what's great about it is that the machine shipped to me in a Targus bag specifically for the SE and the SE30 and the classics and all that. So it basically just like I put it in there and I put a little bit of packing material on top so it didn't go up and down, and then just packed around the bag because that's how
Everything
it made it to me.
safely.
And it all made it safe. So I'm like, good enough.
It did to Gut Bomb as well because he pulled everything out and showed me everything.
That's good.
So yes, greatly appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, that's good news.
I also picked up a 60 megahertz CPU upgrade for the 2SI I'm going to be testing.
Oh,
nice.
Neat.
Yeah. A fellow by the name of Zigzag Joe did it up. So I'm going to try it out.
Cool.
Yeah. That's cool.
It also works in the SE30, but I'm going to put it in the 2SI.
That's neat.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the 2SI, their PDS slots are 90% compatible with one another. Yeah. So that's cool.
But yeah, he designed this specific board to work with the 2SI and the SE30 both.
Yeah.
But you have to modify the metal cage in the SE30 for this to fit correctly, I guess. And I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to put it in the 2SI.
Yeah.
Plus, I have the other thing that you said.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Going to go in that anyway.
Yes. You have something much funner from our good friend.
That's right.
Everything is Broken Garage, Mr.
I've heard of
Ryan
that guy.
Hayward. Yeah.
He's an asshole.
This will look beauteous. It'll look beautiful.
So I ordered a MacBook, and for some reason the guy sent me some stickers with it, and it reminded me of some of the ones that Ron had done. This says "Ready for Power Macintosh."
Yeah.
Internet ready.
That's cool.
And then this sticker, which I'm not quite sure.
That's for the Disc 2 for the Mac or for the Apple II. Yeah. Yeah,
the person sent me all 3 of these stickers, and I'm like, I'm not really sure what this one's for. But yeah, exciting stuff. Trina. Hello, Trina.
Hey, Trina. And Tech Knight just came in here. Hey, Tech Knight.
Oh, Tech Knight. Hello, Tech Knight.
And I think we said hello to Chris already, but Chris, hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in some more sad news, it was announced today now, and it's been known for a while, but I remember I was reminded of it today that Skype is officially shutting down in May.
Yep.
You know what? That's fine.
Yeah.
It's I'm fine with that.
It's an $8.5 billion loss. That's how much they paid for it 14 years ago. $8.5 billion.
But let's be honest, Microsoft is fighting, the phone. We'll call it the phone call on like 6 different fronts. It's time just shut down one front and focused on Teams.
Yep.
Well,
the application no one likes, Teams.
Well, here's the deal. Teams. It's Teams is everything you hate about Skype and MSN Messenger rolled into one product.
Yeah, and SharePoint.
Well, the biggest reason why people don't like Teams as well is like, how many of you have been on a Teams meeting that could have been a 2-second email?
Yeah, everyone.
Everybody abuses the Teams meetings.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a culture shift since COVID. It's like, oh, we got to have a Zoom meeting. It's like, no, we don't. We could have just had an email.
Yep.
Right. Yep. But that's just the
nature. Send a text, send an email. Way easier.
Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast, I think. I don't think it's necessarily the software's fault, because I know people still do that with Zoom, right? They're still sending Zoom meetings, and it's like, guys, this could easily be a call or a 2-second email, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that I despise about Teams, which they still haven't really figured out, is out of tenant communication. So like being able to have multiple Microsoft using companies collaborate together in one instance. They still make it very difficult, which has always been a bane of my existence.
Yeah. I do that with one of my organizations that we do support for, where I do Teams meetings with them, and it was a pain in the butt to set up.
It is still a pain in the butt. And Joe would like us all to tell everybody that hititwithahammer.net is now up and running.
For Marcintosh.
Well, that's great news.
That's great. Just in case you want to know, the Hit It With a Hammer website, I believe, is hosted on the Pumpkintosh. Is that correct? The orange, I'm going to say
SE30?
30?
The
Hulkintosh.
I'm sure he'll correct us shortly. So Skype's gone. That's, it is the Pumpkintosh. Okay, it is indeed the Pumpkintosh.
Oh, it is Pumpkintosh. Okay.
Yeah.
We're all going to get like DDoS Joe by all going to the website at once.
Yeah. Amber CRT, orange LED, clear case, SE30.
That's awesome. I see it there. I'm on there now. Love it.
It's catching on fire, but that's fine.
That's part of its charm.
Joe's basement is filling with acrid smoke as we speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that it's kind of sad because Skype was part of it's kind of like when MSN Messenger shut down. It's like it's part of your childhood. Skype was part of my early business, experience. I remember using Skype while I traveled. I think in 2005 or 2006 to call home. Mm-hmm. I remember that being my first I got a phone number with Skype. I bought a couple of packages of minutes.
I lost my virginity.
It was a lot less expensive.
to Skype, yeah. Everybody was listening to Meatloaf. I was listening to Skype. It was a magical time.
I guess.
CDI makes a point about using Slack. The thing for me about Slack is if you actually look at their security and storage of information rules, it's a little ambiguous. It's a little sketchy. So if you work in any we weren't allowed to use it. Any of the health groups that we worked with weren't allowed to use Slack. Actually, we had to shut down a bunch that were using Slack because they didn't follow. Is it HIPAA? The rules for HIPAA. So anyway, and same thing. I know a couple of police agencies that were using it that had to stop using it for that very similar privacy security reason, and that's why they went to Teams, is because Microsoft will do on-present storage of the data, and it doesn't leave the presence, or it doesn't leave your instance if you want to host it on Azure.
Plus, a lot of companies prefer the legal aspects of it as well for discovery.
Yes.
Over other applications.
Yeah, with Outlook, you can actually you can buy a license for a discovery Outlook where it'll actually go and get things for lawyers.
You could put in search terms, you could put in anything you want, and it just filters through. It's pretty neat.
Not to mention, now with Teams, you get a fantastic new feature called Copilot. Do you know about Copilot? Have you heard about Copilot? This segment of the show is brought to you by Copilot. Ron's like, no, I'm done.
No, I'm just not a fan, and it's fine.
Yeah,
I prefer group-wise.
I don't have to be. It's fine.
Joe.
I think that's the sentiment for a lot of people.
Oh, that's funny. Anyway, I just it's the hype train, right? AI has to be everything.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, today it was, or it's supposed to be actually on the 6th of March. ATI is dropping its new line of video cards.
I hope they do. I hope they drop all of them.
Well, they're thankfully, it looks like they're actually going to have supply of it. Because right now, that's the big issue with the new NVIDIA stuff, is there's no supply.
Well, whereas, I just buy stuff that's like 5 years old. Problem solved.
And the problem with Amazon is the MSRP listings are like $200 to $300 more than the actual, like if you bought it at Best Buy, but getting it at Best Buy is the problem. Anyway, ATI's, or I guess AMD, is attempting to curb, what are they called?
Snipers?
Scalpers.
Yep.
Yeah. Much like Nintendo does now with the new Switch that's coming out. They've basically said that they've been making it for months, so that there will be very much an overabundance of supply, so that there won't be scalpers, unlike when
there
PlayStation
will always
5.
be some kind of scalper.
There'll be somebody trying to scalp it, but it'll be, I would imagine, very regional as opposed to sort of nationwide.
Yeah, I just remember PS5s and all that type of stuff were literally. Now, granted, that was during the pandemic, but those were out of stock for years, seemingly, because people would just in Best Buy and places like that, Walmart, they were just like, "Nope, we're just here. We're just going to profit off of it, and that's fine."
Yeah. But hopefully that's not going to be. Hopefully it's not going to be the same this time around for NVIDIA. And I hope, like, the big problem is NVIDIA is the big dog and the big fish in the small pond. Sure. We need more competition. There needs to be more producers of things. So I'm excited to see the new Intel stuff seems to be growing pretty well. So it'd be nice to see ATI take a chunk out of NVIDIA more than they already have.
Yeah. I heard that Gil Emilio is actually joining the management staff of NVIDIA, and they're going to start a clones program, so that way that more people can clone the NVIDIA chipset, and they'll just make it where more people can get it.
Right. So it'll work out way better for them. And then, maybe 5 to 6 years in, what's his name? The current CEO comes back, Jensen. He'll come back and he'll just say, "This is a terrible idea. Just cancel the whole project."
Yeah, it's Jeeves Stobbs.
Yeah,
is the guy's name. Jeeves Stobbs. He's going to come back and he's going to be like, "This was a dumb idea, you dumb-dumbs."
No fans.
But yeah, you're not allowed to have any fans on any CPUs or GPUs. But yeah, like I remember ATI was a Canadian company originally. It was.
Well, that explains it.
Well, they were very nice back in the day. Ever since they were bought out by AMD, all went downhill. But I'm excited. I've been kind of getting back into some of the PC hardware that I've been kind of out of for the last little bit.
Yeah.
Just people ask me recommendations, students ask me recommendations, and it's just nice to learn about it some more. But it's cool to see that still to this day there's not just one king in a graphics maker, and it's not NVIDIA. So it's nice to see that there's some.
I'm glad that there's.
I had one of these.
Yeah,
choice.
Yeah,
is important.
I had ATI Wonder Pro.
I think everybody had one of those.
Yeah, I used to rip TV shows off the TV with it.
Yeah,
off the TV. Yeah, that's
off the TV.
Yeah, off the TV. Okay,
off the TV.
That's right.
The man off the television.
On the online.
On the
listen, Evil Knievel can get off the TV. I'm getting in the TV.
Tech Night had the Win TV card. I remember those as well. They were if you had a decent video card already, you didn't want to buy the ATI unit, you would get a Win TV card.
Yep.
I remember the software being, pretty dated to look at it now, but it wasn't terrible at the time.
Yeah. I will tell you, a really nice card. Speaking of Canadian companies making really great products, Matrox.
Yes.
They could not compete in the 3D space. That is very unfortunate. But for many, many years, the best setup you could have was I bet subjectively best was a Matrox Millennium 2.
Yep.
And whatever your 3D card was, which was probably, if you were a bajillionaire like me,
you're a baller.
If you were a monocle owner, you had like 2 12 meg, Voodoo 2s.
Right. SLIs.
That was a pretty great setup for a while.
Matrox got bought by NVIDIA, right?
No, Matrox was.
I'm not sure.
I think they're still.
I'm pretty sure they ended up getting bought by NVIDIA. I feel like that's when they started getting shit, was after they got bought by NVIDIA, right?
Well, they're still a company.
Hang on.
I don't
Let me see. Let me look.
They do mostly like stage work now.
They did collaborate with NVIDIA, develop some graphics cards. That's what it was.
They're still based. They're still based in Dorville, Quebec.
Yep.
Good for them.
Sure are.
Founded in 1976 by Lorne Trotter.
I will tell you what. Another great card that that Matrox came out with, because they had like those GX I can't remember what the dang series is, but like G450, all that, like all their, they're fast. They're fast DOS performers. Like some of those AGP cards that they made, but the like a Matrox Mystique, which was their least or less expensive card.
Yeah.
And then they had an add-on for that was called the Rainbow Runner, which was a video capture solution. And I had one of those for a very long time. That was a great setup. Absolutely.
So you can get a Mystique on eBay for about $20-25.
Yeah.
All the way up to $100.
That's about $15 too much.
Let me see.
But yeah, I'm reading here. It said Matrox made several attempts to increase the share in the market for 3D cable cards. The Matrox Mystique, which was released in 1996, was the company's first attempt to make a card with a quote-unquote good performance in-game with pricing suitable for the market. Yeah. The product had good 2D and 3D performance, but produced poor 3D images, with the result that it was derived in reviews being compared unfavorably to the Voodoo 1, which was and
pretty
it was
long in the tooth by that point.
And it was nicknamed the Matrox Mistake, not Mystique.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, sorry, go ahead, Frank.
I was going to say, I looked up the Rainbow Runner, and the cheapest one I found was about $80 shipped from Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is he German?
Yeah. I will say that Matrox made cards that were really good 2D performers. So there's a lot of people, like there's a lot of like CAD drivers and stuff for all of those. Yeah. So like they're great little workstation cards. They may not be the best card for 3D gaming, but you know what? Neither was NVIDIA in the beginning. Everybody had the kind of like that NV1 chipset or something, like that card that not Creative Labs, but Diamond came out with, that was like basically for emulating the Sega Saturn, because it did the same. It didn't do triangles. It did like the thing that the Saturn did.
Yeah.
Talk about like whizzing it down your leg. Yeah.
But yeah, I remember Matrox. Every time I would buy like an off-lease workstation in the mid-2000s, they always had a Matrox card with a strange connector on it that had a small short cable that went to 2 VGA adapters.
Yes, the breakout.
Yeah. And you were like, oh, dear God, help me if I lose this cable.
Yeah. It's very true.
It is true. And we had a couple that had a similar setup, but then had like 4 cables coming off the back of it. 2 DVI and 2 VGA, so you could have up to 4 monitors. So I think they might have been like the, if you needed a war room type setup with lots of monitors, they were probably your best bang for your buck for video cards in the time frame.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I actually have a Matrox card here that I bought for Tech Ambrosia that I have to send to her.
Yeah, nice.
It's just a workstation, multi-head video card.
Yeah.
Came out like 2012, 2013.
Oh, another thing that Matrox did that before a lot of other cards did is they had cards that had 4 video outputs.
Right.
Like they would have like a bunch of dedicated processors on it. Each was basically, it was just 4 cards on one bus.
Right.
So it was, I mean, they were not gaming cards. They were all for, workstation stuff. But yeah, there was a time that was your only thing. If you were wanting to have multiple, without using up all your slots,
right.
Have
one hell, because you imagine too, you're thinking today, you're like, oh, well, I just have 4 monitors mounted on the wall. No. Mm-hmm. These were probably like 21-inch big honking CRTs.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Right. I mean, it was somebody's like super amazing video editing setup or whatever. So Gabon says, Ron, why isn't your printer available? It's because I don't have it set up yet. I need to I'm transitioning back because I've been running I've been running Global Talk on my main rig, the one that I'm sitting in front of right now. I need to move it back over to my the machine that Frank sent me, as a matter of fact. As soon as I can do that, then I'll have some other devices on my network available. It'll be a more exciting Marchintosh. So
should I make there's a laser writer behind me somewhere. I should probably plug that in, I suppose, and see if it works.
Maybe. Well, I'm just make sure that it depends on what model it is. Some of those like to catch on fire.
Personal laser writer?
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Sure.
I'll plug it in. If it catches on fire, catch on fire.
Mm-hmm. I have a when I went to Texas recently, I picked up on the road back from Texas, picked up a Laser Writer 2G, which is basically the creme de la creme of Image Writer 2s.
Nice.
Yes. Narrator. It didn't work.
It didn't work.
But that's the one that's got Ethernet. It's got everything. Okay. So I just sent the board off to Tech Night. Tech Night recapped it. It needed a couple of components that had been damaged or replaced. So now I got to put it back in the printer and test it. I've had no time to do that because I've literally been out of town for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you've been very busy the last last month or so. You've been pretty flat out.
Yes, there's been a lot of things.
There's been a lot of things happening.
I was going to say, now it's time to take some Ron time for Marchintosh.
Yes.
So, Ron, any new projects developing now because of Marchintosh, or you have anything that you're bringing to light, or no?
I don't know. I've got a couple of things that are just, things I'm working on and doing. I got a actually, I'll just tease it. It's fine. I got to work on it this weekend, or I got to work next week. But Apple released a kit that's basically like the sales promotional kit for some things, and I went through all the trouble and encoded the video, and it even came with a little audio cassette with sales information and stuff on it. So I'm putting together like a big long video that'll have that'll show off the sales kit, all the materials that came with it, the video, the audio, all the stuff. So what I've got to do in the short term is I need to figure out what the graphic is going to look like while we're listening to this, because it's like a 26-minute audio segment. So I want to make sure that it's doing the little dancey waveform, or it'll be like when you're watching some kind of crime documentary thing where it's stock footage of a tape deck playing or something. Yeah.
Or you could just, use the song, the all your bass are belong to us. Mm-hmm. Just dub that over.
Oh, that's fine.
That's awesome. So where did you find the video?
I picked it up at Kansas Fest last year.
Cool.
Last year at Kansas Fest was here's the deal. There were people that complained because normally when you go to Kansas Fest, and did you know that Frank's going to be there this year? Pretty amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Frank, you're going to Kansas Fest?
He doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm just telling you right now, this rag smells like ether, and Frank is going to find out about it. But at Kansas Fest, they normally have like a huge giveaway of like hardware and software and all kinds of stuff. This year was like an amazing year for documentation. Or last year was an amazing year for documentation. Now, if you're not into documentation, you're going to have a bad time. But they still had a lot of hardware and stuff there. There was all kinds of like doodads and components and monitors and Apple IIs, and there was a couple of Apple II C pluses on the pile that they gave away, and I mean there was just a ton of stuff. But they also had boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of sales materials, all kinds of documentation. I mean, just magazines, and I mean, I love that stuff. It's if you don't have storage for it, you're not going to care a lot. But I got a little bit of storage, so I'm selective, and I found a lot of great things. And one of which was some of this sales material stuff. Last year, I also found something that's super amazing. I found a 128, like a Mac 128, the original manual for that machine, with the business card stapled on for the lady that used to be in charge of all of their North America sales.
Oh, cool.
So yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
That's kind of, yeah, it's like it means nothing to most people, but it's like for me, I was like, wow, it's like this is like a real little piece of history that eventually my son will throw in a tip somewhere. But for right now, it's great.
Yes, and you'll digitize it so that it lives on for future.
Yes. For future nostalgia.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kansas Fest always seemed like a fun time. When is that again?
It's it'll be like in July or something like that. I'm not privy to anything with that event.
You just love it.
Yeah, I just love it. It's a good time.
You sent me stuff from K-Fest last year.
I send everybody, or I try to send as many people stuff from K-Fest as possible. If it works into the plan of being able to do so.
If I remember correctly, last year, did you not stream the free pile?
Yeah, I do that every year that actually, the very first year I went there, I think I just like put pictures and stuff, or maybe uploaded the video later. But the last couple of years that I've been at K-Fest, I've streamed the free pile, streamed it live, and then turned around and came back and did it to where it's like you could throw yakety sax underneath it. So
Tech Knight makes the comment, is Kansas Fest expensive though?
Here's the deal. I don't think anybody gets in this hobby to save money. So
ain't that the truth?
Yeah, Kansas Fest has got two things. But you have to consider a couple of factors. Kansas Fest is a nearly week-long event where you go to a place. It's typically a college, and your lodging is included. Your time you get to spend at the convention with all the free stuff and meeting people and the camaraderie and the trips out doing things and all that. And many years. Last year was an exception, but food. What do you pay per week to feed yourself? I mean, so that type of stuff is typically all rolled into one thing. And I can't remember how much it was last year. If it was $500 last year, that's more than what it cost. But I'm just thinking, what does a week in a hotel cost?
For sure.
What do you pay for a week of meals out on the town? What would you pay for an Apple 2GS, a ROM 3 Apple 2GS? You just got to go and you pick one thing up off the free pile, and you've probably broke even on whatever. So
exactly. That makes total sense.
Yeah, and my understanding too is that and Tech Knight's right. It's like you'll pay more than that. I mean, the hotel for VCF Midwest this year, we're coming in. Alan and I will carpool again, but we're coming in Thursday, and we're leaving Monday. The hotel is nearly like $900 or something like that.
Yeah, it was just over $1,000 Canadian for me last year for 4 days or for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. So and there ain't shit free at that event.
No, they don't.
I mean, you get in for free. Yes, you can do the things, but there's no like. There's a free pile, but it's mostly like people's like
garbage.
Yeah, I hope you like warped Tupperware lids.
Yeah. So. Well, and to be honest with you, that I had a grand time at VCF Midwest last year. My only gripe was, and maybe it's like you don't meet your heroes, but the free pile, it had all this hype from previous years, and when I went to see it, I was disappointed.
I would say that last year was maybe like not a normal year for the free pile.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff on the free pile.
Yeah.
But I think that because of the cost increase and things like that, I think it kept a few people away. And there were people in the past that have seeded the free pile. This is my guess. People have seeded the free pile to create mystique about the event.
Right.
Those people took that stuff and put it on their table and sold it this year.
Yeah.
Because they had to make their money back.
Right.
So
I posted the dates, July 15th through the 20th this year.
Oh, that's great.
K-Fest, they did announce that.
Mm-hmm.
And then registration opens April 1st.
Oh, nice. Okay.
April Fool's Day. Perfect.
Just in time for me to be broke. Perfect.
And taxes.
I will have to I'll have to talk to my my benefactor, see if I can figure out how to pay for all this.
Well, now that we have 2 VCFs happening, that I have to go to both of them. Midwest, because of course I've started that tradition last year and I must continue that tradition.
I will tell you, if you get to East is a great event. I've been to East and I've been to Midwest. Midwest is the superb owl of these events. It is just, it's so amazing. It's so huge. East is really a lot of fun, but it's a much different experience because it takes place at a kind of a place that already has a lot of like, you know, like there's a radio museum and there's a Black Airman museum and there's military vehicles on site that you can check out and things like that. There's the computer museum and then there's also this event that's going on at the same time.
Right. Yeah, because Montreal is happening next January. So yeah. I mean, I don't have any expectations. I don't expect it to be Midwest, but I feel like hopefully it'll be some kind of, you know, East-like event.
Yeah, Ryan. The Montreal's like totally going to be in French. If you don't speak French, they don't want you there.
Oh no.
Well, I mean that is how Quebec works, but unfortunately,
so you know.
Unfortunately, we will be invading them with a bunch of English speakers. So I parlez-vous enough to get around.
That's what Google translates for. You'll be fine.
Yes, I'll be fine. Wear my Google glasses.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Someone pointed out Google glasses are like 15 years old now.
There was a set for sale at Midwest this year.
Was there? I almost had a heart attack when I found out because they came out like 2010.
Oh gosh, I know.
And someone was like, "Yeah, I think they're 15 years old this year." I'm like, "No, please, no. That was yesterday. That happened yesterday."
Yeah, here's some for $100 on eBay.
Yeah.
There's quite a few on eBay for $100 or less. Here's a pair for $90 with the box and everything with it. $70. Yeah, they're online.
Funny.
You can get them. They're out there.
The big thing is, like, if you wear glasses like I do, you can't.
Yeah.
Just put your contacts in.
Sure. I don't have contacts.
I think that's one of the things that people didn't really like with the Apple thing, the Vision.
Yeah.
How you could get lenses that matched your prescription. I think that's what Kate was saying, is that you could get that. So it kind of, you just put it on and you're not worried about, oh, my specs. I just remember the first time I went and played VR. I mean, it was like,
take it off. You're like, what's going on?
Well, it was, I wore glasses at the time and you had to put the big bulky headset on and they didn't want your glasses touching the LCDs.
Right.
It's like, well, it seems really easy to put in some plexi or something in there, but this was the VR experience was like that the stuff you see online where it's like the Dactyl Nightmare,
right,
where it's like the grid and it's you got like, it looks like you're getting ready to do custom kitchen delivery. You know, it's like we got to move these refrigerators, we got to move those color TVs. So
I'll have to dig it up. That reminds me of the glasses we were issued when I was in the Army. We called them, they were BCGs, basic combat glasses, but we called them birth control goggles. Yeah. They had the thickest Coke bottle lenses, and you had the same lenses. They cut two sets of them. They cut one set for your actual glasses and one set to put in your goggles for like your respirator mask and stuff with the glass. So yeah, those things were ginormous, super thick. Yeah. Super thick.
A quick shout out to Tech Ambrosia who's joined us, as well as JC. Thanks guys for dropping in. Tech Ambrosia, you missed it. We were discussing video cards earlier. specifically Matrox video cards.
That's right.
A nice blast from the past. But yeah, I mean, K-Fest sounds great. Like I said, I've loved VCF. Midwest was a fantastic experience. I cannot. Oh, and she survived her move. Excellent.
That's always great
awesome.
news. That's great news.
Fantastic. Now, here's how I work. If it stays in a box for more than a year after the move, you just throw the whole box out. You don't even look in it. But yeah, we're. I'm looking forward to VCF again this year. It's nice to see all you people in person. You were gone so long. Did you walk there? That's fun. But now
speaking of glasses, Dave's here.
Yes, indeed. Now that you're moved, Tech Ambrosia, it means now I can actually mail you that Matrox card. So there you go.
Moving sucks.
Yeah,
moving is like the worst thing ever.
I told my wife the next time I move out of this house, it's going to be in a body bag.
Yeah. You don't realize how much stuff you have until you have to move. And it's like, good God, where did all this stuff come from?
That's where I've been. I've been out of town. I helped a friend. This is the same friend that I helped move from Burbank to Grand Junction, Burbank, California to to Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yep.
Helped him move from and then he on his own moved back to LA, and then I helped him move from LA to Denver, and then I just now helped him move from Denver back out west.
Holy crap.
So,
Holy God.
So this has been over the last 5 years, he's moved quite a number of times, but it's a lot. And
Ron,
we
did you provide pizza at least?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So 26 foot U-Haul
pizza
across the Rockies.
Oh, I bet that was just screaming the entire way.
Slow drive.
Yeah, it was a slow drive. It took,
and then you had to buy California gasoline once you got there. So I'm sure it was very cheap.
You watch all the stuff so you can buy cheap gas before you cross in. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Zodium was saying he just spent $5 a gallon, I think, or $6 a gallon for gasoline. He's impressed at how expensive it was.
Yeah.
Something
else.
It is. It's very expensive. So I mean, I have nothing really else to talk about this evening. I don't know about you guys. Is there anything else that you want to discuss? Or
I want to talk about Marchintosh.
Okay, well,
what you're doing for Marchintosh.
What I'm doing for Marchintosh? I already said what I was doing.
Oh, did you? It's been so long, I forgot.
Yeah, see, it's been 50.
I know you were working on your 7100s.
Working on the 7100. So the 7100 hopefully will go on Global Talk tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good. Frank, what are you doing?
I am going to be doing testing that 2SI card.
Yes,
upgrade card, but also the CDs that I got from the
that's
Apple.
great.
You have them there? Do you have them there to show? Yes. Show everybody. They're pretty cool.
Oh, okay. So I found a fellow on eBay.
Brad, may I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Give us a little taste. Screen share. Show it. Put them in.
Hang on. Let me boot up the. Let's see what's behind me here.
Hold on while he boots up the PowerBook.
Hang on. Let's see what I got. I got a PowerBook 3400C. Let's boot that baby up. It's got a disk drive.
Ron, in your house, do you randomly keep PowerBooks just in places in case you need to grab one randomly? Oh, he's going to show.
You tell me, Ryan.
Well,
the biggest thing I have to worry about with the PowerBooks is the adapter going to blow up.
I keep an Apple II fairly close. You never know when you're going to need one of those.
That is true.
Okay, let's see.
Speaking of which, I need one of Javier's adapters. The
Which one?
USB-C adapters for the 2C. Tech Ambrosia enjoys your 3400C.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. I have boot this up. I'll show you guys.
What a
I
lovely
have another one behind me, but it doesn't have a disk drive. And I don't like the glue is so sticky. It's a PowerBook Duo 280C. It works really well.
You should.
This one works really good.
I will tell you, you should send your 280C over to Tech Knight and let him recap it, because those things are notoriously bad for leaky caps.
The 280.
Yeah, 280C. Especially the display, because you will not, if the display leaks and that's it, you will not be able to find another 280 display. So I just sent mine to Tech Knight, and he was able to get it all.
Tech Knight, can you take care of that for?
I'm gonna have to do that.
I'm just telling you, it's his list. His list is getting long. His work log's getting long, but does really good work.
He's good people. And if you don't know who Tech Knight is, I highly recommend you go check out his YouTube channel. If you've ever been interested in the Weather Network or the Weather Channel or the Weather Star, I believe is the Weather Star equipment, he's got a fantastic catalog of videos on that.
I do not know if Civ 2 is network.
Is Civ 2 Apple? That's a good question. I mean, it was always a multiplayer game on PC. Yeah, Tech Knight says, yep, they're bad, and they're full of SMD caps. So, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go. Pop the disc in. Sorry, it's quite the production here.
I know. You can see the production quality is amazing with our show. It's, also, can I say, Ron, I have to give credit where credit is due. Last week's Retro Repair Roundup was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And one of the best interview people you've ever interviewed.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched, is John Calhoun?
Yeah, John Calhoun from Soft Dorothy.
Yeah. He did a fantastic interview. He talked about writing software for the Apple, writing games for the Apple, or for the Macintosh, I should say.
Yeah.
And then talked about his time at Apple and gave us some really hilarious stories. I felt like it was felt like we were having a chat with an old friend, and it was, like a fireside chat. It was quite a nice.
It's true.
Evening. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you.
Yeah, we'll have him back on at some point in the future to tell some more Apple stories and things like that. So.
I think he needs to do either a K-Fest or a.
I'm on him. I'm on him. I'm on it. I'm trying.
Or at least write a book or something. Like that's pretty interesting life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I picked up 3 different discs from this fellow, and he was a former Apple support engineer back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Nice.
So he had one of the discs was Support Navigator, which had applications, copy center, diagnostics, presentations, reference, technical information library, training, and utilities. And it's an Apple internal use only, do not distribute, all that good stuff on the disc.
Well, don't break any rules, Frank.
I know, right? Hang on, I'm going to show you this fancy stuff here. Sorry. Try to make this work better here. But anyway, it's actually they're set up as HyperCard stacks.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. But when you load it, it's got a lot of neat stuff on here. So for Apple eyes only, confidential proprietary information. Read this notice before proceeding. So we're not going to read it. We're just going to click it. So one of the really neat things about this is, and hang on, let me try and show you a little bit better here.
Have you been taking Trina's how to center a video?
I know, right? Well, I'm just holding the camera here, so
yeah,
you have to excuse the crappy thing here. But what is really neat on here is the applications on here. There's a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to find online. Perfect example, like if I scroll down, it's got a lot of like Mac Paint, Mac Draw, Mac Projects. A lot of that stuff's online. But there's a lot of neat stuff on here. Like, hang on, let me go back. Where was the one that's got Copy Center? There we go.
Don't hit the speaker button.
On Copy Center, it's got a lot of stuff where you can actually create floppy disks while you're out in the field. So if you're working on something, it allows you to create. So like system tools for the 512 and the 128K, the 512KE, system tools for Mac Plus, all kinds of different stuff. But not only those older Macs, but what's great is it's got some stuff on here for the Apple II, the 2GS, like system disk 1.1, 2, 3.1, 4, system tools, Apple Cat stuff. So Apple Cat for the 2, 2X, Apple Cat LW, SE, SE30. But there's also a bunch of neat stuff. So there's ASPS workstation installer, server, a bunch of applications like that. There is some neat stuff for the Lisa.
That's cool.
On here. So hang on, scrolling down through a bunch of different stuff. HyperCard, bunch of stuff that I'm not sure what it is. Mac Tech Notes for all the different types of systems. There's Macintalk, Pascal, Mac Terminal, Mac Test stuff. Hang on, I'm trying to find some of the Lisa stuff because like it allows you to create disks for the operating system as well as a bunch of stuff. So here's like Apple II Fortran, Pascal, SCSI card test, hard drive test, Apple Link, Apple Term, Apple Works.
And some of the other cool stuff, it has a whole presentation section, which has like all the corporate presentations.
Oh, here you go. So here's Lisa OS 3.1, disk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lisa Pascal Workshop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pascal Workshop support stuff. There's Lisa Mac stuff, Lisa Calc, Lisa Draw. But these are all, so if you click on one,
Frank, I have a question.
Open. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there a Lisa Lisa Needs Braces?
Dental plan.
Mac 2 ROM checker, Mac migration tools. I mean, there's tons of stuff that's not on any archives or anything I could find that's on here. NetWare for Mac, ProDOS stuff. There's a bunch of ProDOS tools. Profile data recovery. So if you have an Apple profile drive, here's some data recovery software that's made for the profile drives.
Neat.
But what happens is if you click on any one of these images, you can hit open and it brings up disk copy and it allows you to put in a floppy and make an actual copy of this, of whatever software you're looking for. And so there's hundreds of applications between the actual applications and the copy center. There's also utilities on here. So like Apple File Exchange, HDSC setups, Disk Clinic, floppy recovery. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of different applications on here. Converters here, Lisa Calc to Jazz, Lisa Calc to SYLK, Lisa Project to Mac Project. Like there's tons of tools on here.
Yeah, that's great.
Virus RX. I thought that was funny.
That's funny. But so you're going to do a video on this, a more in-depth where you...
because a lot of this stuff, there's sales presentations on here and sales tools. Like here, Tech Library, Apple II software, Apple II hardware, Macintosh hardware, software, Apple III stuff, Lisa software and hardware. There's tons of technical data for all of these, as well as sales presentations and demos.
Pretty cool.
So there's just a lot.
So
of,
what
lot
you're
of cool
saying,
stuff
Frank, is for Halloween this year, you're going to go as a 1990 Apple sales rep.
That's right.
You're going to
see,
go
like here, for example, I went into Apple III hardware information, and it lists all the different hardware, like interface cards, printer cables.
Wait, does that say number of stop bits?
Yep, right here. Apple III Video. I mean, there's just so much cool stuff on here that a lot of people in the community could use that's just not available or haven't been upgraded or archived or uploaded.
Yeah.
So let's just say like Apple III interface. Hang on. Apple III interface cards. Just to see an example what's on here. Interrupts and resets for peripheral slots. Using the Super Serial card. There's just so much stuff on here.
Cool.
That's I think would be.
And so your plan is you're going to archive it and stick it on archive.org and probably Macintosh Garden.
Now a couple of these I will have to figure out with Steve how best to do it, because there's some stuff on here that actually has password data and things like that and connection information, which I'm sure from the 80s none of this stuff's relevant or workable or anything. But even then, I still feel a little bit weird about putting that stuff on there. So
there's that one old tech at Apple who uses the same password for everything.
Exactly. But another disc is the Apple Reference and Presentation Library. This has a lot of cool sales data and stuff on it. This is a beta version of the software. So was networking communication support.
Was that
from? Sorry, go ahead.
So I was going to say, was that for the beta personalities that were selling it, or is there an alpha CD for the real salespeople?
I'm assuming this is just whatever the demo of what they were sending salespeople. But there's another CD that's specific to networking communications, and this is the one that actually has a lot of the proprietary data with the passwords and things that I got to figure out. Cool. It's got presentations and seminars on here. It's got a lot of applications for engineers to order hardware from the field, where they can fill out the information to requisition stuff.
Awesome.
I think I went buffering again.
You're broken down a little bit, but not bad. So yeah, well, that's exciting. So I look forward to seeing that over the next little bit. Again, I'll mention if you are going to do something Marcintosh, please use the hashtag Marcintosh hashtag.
Yes.
To make sure that it's searchable, I guess. And I guess, Ron, is there any other thing they should be doing if they're doing a video or...
You can go to marcintosh.com for full event information.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. So you just go to the website and check out all the details. I assume there's graphics and stuff there that they can also
there's a media kit. There's everything you need to get started.
Cool. Awesome. Well, very exciting, fellows. So we're at the 1 hour and 6 minute mark here. I think it's properly a good time to shut her down. Did anybody have any last minute remarks, queries, qualms, questions?
No. I just hope everybody has a great week and a great Marcintosh and makes lots of fun things.
And this week there's a couple of streams happening. Again, Ron is going to be running a video tomorrow around 2 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah, we'll see.
You check it out there. So everybody have a fantastic week and be nice to each other. Especially if you can be anything in this world, be nice.
Be kind, be blind.
Yes. And so we hope to see you back here next week. Hope Eric is feeling better. I hope he has a speedy recovery from his illness. And we'll see you all next week. So thanks, guys. Have a fantastic remainder of your Friday evening.
Yep.
Bye.